All right, so I'm Trey Woodall, and we're here for a press conference for the up-and-coming Expressway Dodge Cup event between two teams from two different leagues and two different venues. First, we're going to get started with some team introductions, starting with the team on my right, which is the BCA team. So if you'd like to go ahead, this is the captain here, Dan. Just introduce your name, where you're from, how long you've been playing pool, your APA, Fargo rating, whatever.
My name's Dan Field. I'm the captain for this team. I've been playing pool since Jesus was around, I think. But I'm no miracle worker. Thankfully, I won't be playing in this tournament. But it's going to be awesome, and I'm going to pass the mic, and everybody here can introduce themselves. But I think everybody already knows everybody.
All right, I'm Mickey Hammond, and I've been playing pool for about 43 years, since I was about 6 years old. I'm from Mount Carmel, Illinois, but I relocated to Evansville back in 2014, so almost 10 years here. I'm a APA 7 and a 640 Fargo.
My name's Kerry Buddy. I'm here from Evansville. I've been playing pool probably about 30 years. My APA rating is a 7, and my Fargo is a 550, and that's about it.
Yeah, my name's Charles Elrod, born here in Evansville. All right. Been playing pool probably since '89 when I took up the sport. In APA, I'm a 7, and my Fargo rating is a 585.
My name's Mike Titzer, here from Evansville, Indiana. Been playing pool for about 7 years. I'm an APA 5 with a Fargo rating of 440.
I'm Patrick Akers. I'm living in Newburgh now. I've been there about 15 years or so. I'm an APA 6, not a 7, and 575 is my Fargo.
All right, so this is the East Side Eagles. Now we're going to switch it over to, well, I said East Side, BCA Eagles. Okay. But so now we're going to step over here. We got the captain, Rick Utley. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Rick Utley. We're here in Evansville, Indiana. Captain of the APA All-Stars. I'm a 5 in APA, and I do not have a Fargo rating.
I'm Bobby Hall. I'm a 6 APA. Probably been playing about 20 years, maybe. And I think my Fargo's 543, somewhere in that area.
Hi, my name is Eric Canary. I'm from here, lived here pretty much my whole life. I've been playing pool for 24 years. I'm an APA 7 and Fargo rating 614.
Hi, I'm Chuck Austin, Monroe County, Kentucky. Nobody's going to know where that is, but transplanted here about 30 years ago. I'm an APA 5. I do not have.
My name's Brian Payne. Why are you laughing? From Knox County, Indiana. Live in Hanson, Kentucky now. My APA rating's a 6, and my Fargo's a 602, and I've been playing pool for about 16 years.
My name's Derek Bivens from Evansville, Indiana, born and raised. Been playing pool off and on for about 20 years. APA rating 7, Fargo rating 550, and I would say I've been playing league pool for about 10 years.
All right. There we got it. We got our both teams. So this is a charity event, and we will be raising money for the Boys and Girls Club of Evansville. This question is for Mickey. How did that selection come about and why?
So Bobby and I sit down 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we kind of laid out some ground rules on how this was going to work. And we had not come to a charity yet at that time. And I had a couple ideas, and Bobby threw out the Boys and Girls Club. Now, I've heard of the Boys and Girls Club, but I really don't know anything about it. We'll come to find out, another local pool player, I'm probably going to say her last name wrong, but Shanna Groninger. She is the director of activity and a few other things there at the Boys and Girls Club. So I went and met with her and took a tour of their facility for about an hour and a half, and she told me about how the Boys and Girls Club works, what all they do, which is pretty impressive. They have educational things. They have interactive training. I think ages, I'm going 4 to 7 to, what is it? 17, 7 to 17. Thanks. And they got a beautiful facility here and a lot of people there, a lot of full-time people that it takes to make it work. So after I spent some time with her, I knew that it was for sure that was the place we needed to be donating money to. So really the charity goes to Bobby Hall. He's one who suggested it. I didn't know much about it, but it was a great suggestion.
Awesome. So this next question is going to go to the vice captains, Bobby and Mickey both. What is the Expressway Dodge Cup, and how does that work?
Basically, the Expressway Dodge Cup is a format where you play singles matches as well as doubles matches. We're racing to 10. Each match is 1 point, and first one to 10 will be declared the winner.
Yeah, that's right. So the Expressway Dodge Cup, the idea came from one of the biggest pool events in the world called the Mosconi Cup, named after Willie Mosconi, an early on pool player back in the way a long time ago before I was born. And it's actually it's just like this. You got 5 players, you got a captain. But the difference here is these teams were predetermined. The matches were predetermined. Where the Mosconi Cup, the matches are called on the fly. Actually, they're set the morning before the matches. But it's a very similar format outside of how the matches or the teams are put together. So we're really excited about it. It's the first one, and we're kind of happy it's going to take place.
It's going to be a great event. This next question is for Bobby. How are the teams in the matches decided?
Basically, how I thought of the concept, and then I sent Mickey a example format, and basically he took exactly what I sent him, as in matches, as in players. So he must have seen something where he sees an advantage somewhere. But basically, we just set 5 guys on the team, and different matches that were equal or somewhat equal to try to.
Great. All right, so now we know we got BCA and we have APA. What kind of rules are we going to be using, Mickey?
So we're actually using a mixed set of the rules. Being half these players are APA, half are BCA players. Some play both. So we kind of mixed up where I know that in BCA, it is open table after the break, and APA is take what you make. We went with the open table after the break. In BCA, it's call your pocket. APA, you don't have to call your pocket. We went with not having to call your pocket. On a scratch on the break, it's ball in hand anywhere on the table. In BCA and APA, it's not. We went with the ball will be in the kitchen of scratch break. 8 on a break will not be a win. It is a win in APA. It's not a win in BCA. It's not a loss in BCA. It is a loss in APA if you make it in scratch. If you shoot at the 8 ball in BCA and you scratch, it's a loss. It's not a loss of game. In APA, it is. And we went with the APA side on that. If you scratch while shooting at the 8 ball, it will be a loss. You cannot call a safety and pocket a ball, which you can in BCA. You cannot in APA. So there was just a little give and take here on both sides to make sure the rules are fair for everybody. We've all played both sets of rules for the most part at different times. But as a whole, these guys play BCA rules and these guys play APA rules. So I think we got a pretty common ground with rule sets.
It sounds pretty fair. So, Rick, you're the team captain. I know you just got drug into this. I think you were the third pick, but how do you feel about your team's dynamics? I mean,
very strong team sitting at this table here. It's going to match up pretty well against the BCA boys over there. You got
Yeah.
a few sevens and a few sixes over here. It's going to
yeah,
put up a pretty good challenge here with these boys. You know, there's some sharpshooters over there, but
you got world champions on your team over there.
yeah, we do got one sitting down there.
And two of them, huh? Yeah.
But it might fall in our favor over there.
Okay. So, yeah, it was. So I want to ask you, Dan, with the BCA, how do you feel about your team's dynamics?
Well, before I get to that, I just want to say that the collaboration here for this cup, I want to thank everybody that was involved in it. This is going to be great for Evansville, great for Poole. And although I do have a championship with the APA, I think these BCA guys are going to kick some ass. I think the dynamics are, as long as everybody can keep Pat's emotions down, then it's going to be great.
Right. All right. So, would you like to go ahead, chime on in here? You're more welcome.
All right, so to go with what Utley was saying, it's just my own answer. This I played both. There's good things to the BCA. There's good things to the APA. The difference between us and them, BCA, you can lose and still pay your way in. APA, you can't lose. You got to win. So nothing's given to us. We earn it. A lot is given to them. They don't earn nothing. They don't have to. That's my answer.
Good answer. Good answer, Bobby. All right, so we all watch the Mosconi Cup, and each year they have players like your Billy Thorpe, your Jason Shaws. They all get the crowd going. This is for the captains. Do you have somebody on your team, Rick, that is going to get the crowd pumped up? Because this ain't a normal event like we're used to.
Yeah, we most definitely got someone that's going to get our crowd pumped. That's the mouthpiece you've been hearing already. Mr. Davis
I got you. Dan?
We definitely have some strong contributors over here. We have Charles Elrod, and everybody's going to listen to him because you're going to hear him. And he's not going to pull any punches. And we got Kerry Buddy, who can at times get really fired up. So I think this is going to be exciting. I cannot wait.
It's going to be a fun tournament for sure. All right, so my next question is going to be for Pat and Eric. Eric, what's the matchup that you look forward to most?
Well, I think most people consider Mickey to be the best player on that team, and most people probably consider me to be the best player on. And I'm very much looking forward to that singles match and see who can win out of the top players.
Yeah, it ought to be interesting.
It should be
close, for sure. Pat?
As far as the least,
Yeah.
I'll go with that one first.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like doubles that much, so I figured me and Mickey against Bivens and Canary is going to be the hardest match, and I feel like my doubles game needs to improve before then. But as far as the one I'm looking forward to the most is any match with Brian, and it's only because there's everybody going around saying who's better, me or Brian, and well they're going to find out, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're not saying that. We know.
Right. So this next one's going to be for the vice captains, Mickey and Bobby. What has practice been like leading up to today, and what's it going to look like the next several days leading up to the tournament? Bobby, you want to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So I know that these guys been putting some time in. Charlie, that's all this guy does is play pool. So practice is nothing new for this guy. This guy's at the club 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning putting the time in. And he ain't just hitting balls around. There's some money on the line, so there's some pressure. There's some pressure in it. You know, he hits the tournaments. He's practicing in them, and there's no more pressure than tournament play and money play. Patrick Eggers, I've known for I really can't count the years. The guy's never practiced in his life, but these past couple weeks, 3 weeks, he's putting the time in. His game has came so far in the past year or two. He's really practicing. We've talked about some practice sessions to try to get some time in. We'll get more and more as we approach the date. I know I've watched these guys a little bit here in the past couple weeks around here, and I don't think they're practicing at all based on what I'm seeing. So,
good. All right. This next one, let Chuck. Oh, go ahead. Bobby, want to say something? I'm sorry.
Practice. Tournament. Are they talking about practice? Oh, okay.
Practice.
We don't need practice.
Yeah.
We don't practice. You got a world champion right here. You got a veteran right here. You got tough nuts right here. Any tournament. We don't need practice. We're going to show up. We're going to play under the lights. We're going to see who can deal with the pressure.
how are you guys going to live off this legend of this world championship? Wasn't that like 2000? Okay, 2016. My bad. It is the only one either league was seen. That's true.
All right, Kerry, Chuck. Pool is normally played. It's pretty quiet for the most part. This event is not going to be quiet. There's going to be hooting and hollering going around everywhere. There's going to be people like me over in the crowd. You know, if you miss a shot, you know, you're going to hear about it. How do you think your team's going to hold up to that?
Well, hopefully we're not going to miss. That's the plan. But if we get hooted and hollered at a little bit for missing, as long as we can do it back, I don't think it's going to bother anybody here. As a matter of fact, I think we're kind of looking forward to that. We're underdogs, I'm sure, if you look down the list of matchups. But we're coming with everything we got, and we're planning on winning. Hoot and hollering aside, we're planning on winning.
Kerry?
I mean, I like to hear the fact that he said that they're underdogs, but their co-captain is the one that made this roster. So I don't know if he's begging for mercy over there or what he's asking for. But I'm glad that we're going to be able to get this done and have some fun doing it. And the hooting and hollering is supposed to be one of the funnest parts, and enjoying the crowd. And anybody that wants to come out and donate and take their time, you know, to spend, you know, their day doing this with us.
Awesome. Great answer. Titzer, this next one's going to be for you. APA matches, they start with a lag, and the BCA matches are predetermined. And in short races, the winner of the lag is extremely important because they do get the first break, and they'll be breaking on the heel. Do you think that Team APA has an advantage on the lag?
I don't really know there's an advantage on the lag with the break. I mean, there's so many things can happen. You can have a dry break. I mean, you can scratch on the break. I mean, anything can change at any given point. So I don't think there's an advantage to that at all.
Okay. So we're going to move on. Brian and Charlie. This next one's going to be for you two guys. All the Evansville pool players understand the rivalry between the East and the West, APA, BCA, however you want to look at it. For the most part, the West Side players tend to stay on the West Side, and the same as far as the East Side players. Because of the two different atmospheres, do you think that playing in either location is going to give a team an advantage?
I mean, I think our team definitely has an advantage out of here, and their team would definitely have an advantage out of the East Side. I mean, the tables play different. I would say the pockets on most of them are different. The pockets over here are probably a little bit bigger than the pockets on the East Side.
Yeah. The crowd's going to be a lot different, I think.
The crowd's definitely going to be louder over here than it is over there.
And it travels well. So.
Yeah, because this is a 2-day event. So, Charlie?
I agree with them. I mean, the temperatures in the rooms will be different. The rails bounce differently. I know over there we got a new set of balls on the table, so hopefully they'll get the odd and valley balls over here changed out to a full set. You know, I know this west side they got to just give up the can over. But I mean, yeah, I think with the venue being on the east side, though, hopefully they're we can pack more people in there and get more money for this.
For the
Boys and girls,
calls.
yeah. Because over here, it's like it would be nice to be able to put a big area where everybody could sit right around us would be great.
Yeah.
You know, but up here between the bar and the back, you know, it's definitely going to be a little tight area to cram some people in. You know, but yeah, it's definitely going to be fun because the tables are definitely different for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes.
I think I'm hearing Charles say here it's like a Ford, and over there it's like a Cadillac. I think that's what I heard.
Is that what he's saying over there? All right, Mickey. This is first of hopefully many events that we're able to do this in the future. Prize money for the winning event is great, but bragging rights is pretty much what we're playing for here. I mean, because it is East versus West, BCA, APA, however you want to look at it. You know, everybody kind of sees that. So the winner of the event gets to keep the cup at their host location. How important is this victory to you?
So for me, this is the most important part about this. I've never been a pool player that played for the money. The money's a bonus. I want the bragging rights. I want to play good today. And I've told my team that will be the toughest part if we lost this, to stare at that cup for the next 6 months or year, whatever the next one's going to be, knowing it's over here and that we lost to these guys. It would be devastating. So it's really, really important to take this first one home.
Yeah. And Chuck, this one's for you. Do you think that since this is the first event, is there added pressure?
Added pressure or not, but I feel the same way Mickey does. Any money, I want to raise a bunch of money for the charity, but I want to look at those guys over there every time I see them and say, well, get it done. That's the only reason I'm playing is because I want to win. And you know, I know every guy over on the other side of the room, and I know they're all going to be trying to win as well. But that's what the five of us over on this side of the table are coming to do, is try to win.
That's right. Good answer, Chuck. Bobby, what do you think is going to be your toughest matchup of this event? I know you're in several. You want to see them?
That's a win.
I mean, you play Kerry Buddy, a singles match.
Yeah, that's a win.
You play Pat.
That's a win.
Speak up. Say it with the chest. Yeah. I can't hear you over here.
I've been looking at my matchup with Pat. I think a lot of people sweat Pat like he's good, like he's great. They talk about he should be a 7. I think he's no better than me. I've struggled with this guy down here, the curly-haired guy. I struggle with him all the time. But Pat, I've never struggled with Pat. So I'm ready for that one. Doubles. I don't care about any of the doubles. I think I'm one of the better doubles players at either table. So I think my match is with Pat that I'm focused most on.
Mickey, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What do you think is going to be the toughest matchup of the event?
Well, I mean, I guess if we're talking about me in the lineup, obviously Eric and I's had some great matches over the years. You know, am I better than Eric? Yes. By a lot? No. I mean, Eric's got a high gear. I've seen it, but I've seen my high gear. But as far as my individual matches, I don't care if we put 6 cups on the floor. Ain't one of these guys beating me. Now the team events, I would say that probably me and Patrick versus Eric and Derek is probably the toughest match I see. Because in a doubles match, you can really have big swings. You know, I think we're doing a winter break format. So in a singles match, I can be down 4-0 in a winter break format. I mean, my opponent may not shoot the rest of the set. In a doubles match, it's hardly ever the case. So I'm going to say the toughest match that I see for me is me and Patrick versus Eric and Derek.
All right. Sure. Yeah. Bivens, go ahead.
For me personally, I'm not going to say whether it's the hardest, but I look most forward to my singles match with Elrod. He's had my number in league for a while now. It's always come down to like the last ball, but it's been 9-ball for the most part. But where I'm excited for playing him is that we're like polar opposites in the way we play 8-ball. And I think it gives me personally a big edge. Now, if things are just rolling right in his way, like he's breaking well and I'm not getting a chance to do what I do best, then of course it can be a quick match. But my plan, just extend the racks, maybe get him frustrated. I'm looking forward to that. My other singles match against Kerry Buddy, whether Team APA wins or loses, I just hope it gets to that match. Like, I would love for it to be like we're down and they're on their last win, and it comes down to us, and then Kerry sees the finish line, like he can be the hero. Like, I would love to, like, well, it's going to be on Elrod. That's what I'm hoping it comes to. Now, if we're on the hill, I'm going to be super excited, but I'm gonna be able to play with the pressure either way, in my opinion.
Awesome. Pat, what do you think? Huh? Mike? Charlie?
Well, I'm looking down through here. I mean, I'm looking at all the matchups, and there ain't really any given. I mean, it's right there, dude. I mean, they're all great matchups. I mean, I was amazed whenever I asked Mickey when he picked it, and he said he didn't. He said Bobby did that, and I'm like, congrats, man. Them some good matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not going to be anything easy. I mean, we all been playing pool, and we've hit them great one day, and the next day can't make a straight-in shot with ball in hand. I mean, we've been down that road too many times. And with the pressure being on, all these matches are not gimmies. I can tell you that right now. But on the brighter side, I mean, like Mickey said, every weekend I'm up, I'm at the club, hitting on the 9-footer, running racks on the 9-footer. So I don't give a care who I play. It's just you're going to see a different gear when I'm down. When
So
I'm
if it
not
comes
talking, it don't matter. Anyone I'm playing,
You and
partners,
Eric Canary for the final match?
it's not going to get that far.
If it gets that far, we
Yeah.
win.
Yeah.
I look through these matchups, and I tell you who I see winning. And I hope it's the Boys and Girls Club right here in Evansville.
That's right.
That's who the real winner is. But when you get down to these matches, I'm going to tell you guys, my prediction is it's going to come down to the super tough matchup of Chuck Austin and Mike Titzer.
Agreed.
And I think that will be the most exciting match of this cup.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Brian? I thought Brian did. Yeah.
The match I'm looking forward to, just because everybody thinks I'm a big underdog, is me against Mickey Hammond.
I think he's just called
Against
you
me
out.
and he better hope that the table's
Yeah.
he better hope the table's wide open so he can run out. Otherwise, he's getting up there in a little age, and I'll put him to sleep with defense.
Well, he took the words out of my mouth. That is the only way he wins, if I go to sleep from his defense and safety play.
That's pretty good, Brian. Derek and Carrie, this next question is going to be to you guys. What do you think the score is going to be after day one? What do you predict the score, Derek?
I'm still unfamiliar with the first match, how it's played, I guess, or what the order is going to be.
So it's going to be on.
Okay, so that's still unknown at the moment.
Right.
With that being said, how many matches in the first day total are there?
There's 9 matches.
I'm gonna go 5-4 us.
5-4. APA.
With all of them being close and competitive, but a few rolls going our way where like the conversation of the town is like, man, you see that roll that they got? We'll take the rolls. So that's my.
And that's in your home field on day one.
Right, day one, we've got all of Bobby's hooligans in here screaming and yelling, sharking the BCA team. So,
Kerry,
and that's just a prediction without really.
I got you.
Individual lineup. That's just picking a score kind of blindly because I haven't really went over the lineups really that well.
Kerry, what do you think?
Well, I'm a big fan of Rocky Balboa. And, I think the 5-4 ain't even really going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to be 6-3.
6-3 BCA.
6-3.
After the first
They're
day.
going to get the body shots.
Even though day one is at the West Side Eagles, I think the matchups favor you just a hair. But I do believe day two at the East Side Eagles, the matchups favor us. And I think that if we go into day two only down 5-4, I think we win.
What do you think your favorite?
Everyone that says Canary.
Wow. Shots fired.
You might win 2 then.
Oh, on day two, if it gets to the end, I believe that we can be down 9-7 going in. If we get to 9-7 and we're down, I believe we win the last 3 and come back and win it.
Chuck beats Mike.
I do. On day 2. Yes,
on
sir.
day 2.
That will be the matchup. I've already.
Somebody said that's going to be the matchup. I think we're probably a little far off on that one, but
They gonna let Mike talk?
I do agree that Chuck and Mike's matches are extremely pivotal. Extremely.
All right. So
There's no such thing.
This is a different type of pressure that really nobody here's ever experienced with the booing and the cheering in between shots. We ain't never experienced that.
no, you're absolutely right. The pressure of a tournament, I don't care what the entry fee is.
You're right.
I know this ain't the Mosconi Cup. This ain't on national television.
Right.
But this pressure the oohs and the ahs from missed shots or good shots or just the frustration from players, it's going to be a pressure like you've never experienced. I don't care if you're my level or Eric's level or Jason Shaw's level. We've seen it there, and we're definitely going to see it here.
So mentally, I mean, it's going to be tough for everybody who's playing.
Is Kerry Buddy gonna be able to handle every missed shot when all these people are up in them ears?
I've already handled you before.
I don't think you. Well, you handled me in your doubles. That's the only thing I can ever remember.
I handled you if I
handled me.
remember correctly.
And then
I banked out on you
Then I
too.
still won your trip, but
No, you won your trip, the one that you said you had to pay for and lose. I don't know. I didn't get it.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But anyway, so I don't think I don't think Kerry. Oh, okay, I got you. I don't think Kerry will handle that pressure. Day one, we're gonna be in them ears. His head's gonna be red. He ain't gonna handle it. Titzer, he was riding my coattails for a year and a half trying to get on my teams. No, bro, no, just shoot him away like a fly. Then he runs to BCA, and then all negative. So Chuck's gonna pay him back. Big time.
Wow. I think shots were fired again. I can feel the tension between these two teams.
Have you ever heard the phrase, it's the quiet ones you got to look out for? I ain't hear this guy say nothing down here, so you better watch out.
And y'all ain't going to hear him say nothing after the game either.
All right, so we're going to move on. This next question is for Eric. ONQ runs a lot of tournaments. They have a lot of streams with the BCA. Do you think that they, with the bright lights and everything, that's going to cause an issue for some of your teammates?
No, I think that's actually in our huge advantage. I think that's the reason that we're going to win this thing. Is I think that our team's going to handle that much better than the East Side Eagles BCA team. As I touched on earlier, I think that's our advantage. I think that's why we win.
It gets a little rowdy over on the west side, when you do full tournaments over here.
Explain how that's your advantage.
I believe that I know the temperaments and mentalities and emotional control of every player here, and I think that ours will be able to handle that kind of adversity more than yours.
That's a good answer.
I would just like to respond to that. You've got a couple world champions over there, been under pressure. There's one over here too, and my team's going to be ready for this pressure. So you can say all that crap you want. My team's going to handle the pressure fine.
I'm looking forward to it very much.
I mean, if we want to talk about successes, we do got a second place world championship team here, way more recent than 2000 and what was it again? 6. Okay. I keep forgetting. Sorry.
How many teams in the tournament?
Total out there for BCA 638.
How many did you compete against?
200 or 300.
Okay. I mean, that is a great. That's a great accomplishment. I'm not taking anything away from that. I'm not a shit talker, but the two guys and the other guy, I got to acknowledge, even the guy on the other team, there was about 700 teams in the tournament that they won, and I'm pretty damn proud of them. It's never been done before in Evansville, and I'm proud these guys are on my side. Dan, you don't have a cue in your hand, so I got two guys on my side. So
he's going to pass on the knowledge, is what he's saying.
He can pass it on, but these guys are actually going to be playing. So
Yep.
Brian and Derek have played under a little pressure. That's for sure.
There's a lot of good pool players sitting up here. That's for sure.
I'm not one of them, but I got a team full of them. I'll tell you that
That's
right
what,
now.
That Titzer told me that. He's just, I don't know what that meant, but I was just kind of.
I've never claimed to be a good pool player, but I can ride the I can ride the coattails.
That's right.
I can ride the coattails.
All right. This next one's going to be for Bobby and Mickey. Who would you like to see on the teams in the next?
I don't know that I have a specific name or names I'd like to see. I guess what I'll say is I'd like to see maybe a way to earn points to get people to play versus just hand-picked teams. And I know there's enough minds with pool and competition in Evansville. We can figure out a system to get people to play. And I know that I've heard some whispers throughout town that this guy should have been on BCA or this guy should have been APA. I just want to clarify, this isn't the best of the best. This was it's a fair competition. I won't go real deep on it. The best of the best APA versus the best of the best BCA, I promise you it ain't close like this match is. This is a close match. But if you want the best of the best of the two leagues, APA cannot compete.
Bobby?
I want Mickey on that. I think me and Chuck's going to get together and hopefully run points-based format because there is a lot of talk about who's on the team, who should be on the team, and there's a lot of good players that hell are better than me for sure, better than Chuck. That could be in our spot, but I didn't want them when I created this. I created this idea 2 years ago. That's how bad I've been wanting to do this format. And I was definitely going to be in the first one. So going forward, though.
So are there going to be tournaments based on you had to play in the tournaments, get your points?
Yeah.
And,
kind of just like the
Right.
Cup, like the top three will go through the points, and then maybe two captain's picks. Type of deal.
Right.
Maybe,
and that's,
it needs to be some type of tour.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer right now, but I know there is an answer. And I know we can come together and figure it out where people get to play.
Right.
I just want to say that
I'm just going to talk. You might even have a world champion come out of retirement next year.
Well, I like that attitude, Dan. But I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to the points thing where we can have an Elrod versus Elrod matchup. I think he can win that one. I think he can win that one.
All right, so I'm going to direct this one at you, Bobby, because I know you get riled up a lot. What location do you think, what crowd is going to be the biggest impact?
I mean, my crowd's going to both. So their crowd, you won't hear them. You will hear mine. And their crowd, they won't have a crowd. My crowd will drown them out. They will be getting in some heads. Now they won't talk to you while you're shooting. We got rules.
Right.
But boy, when you miss, they gonna get in it. Carrie's head's gonna be red. I would say Pat, but Pat is a cool customer, boy. He don't show no emotion. I'm gonna have him show emotion when I beat him though.
Pat, you got anything to say about that? No.
I think I do kind of agree that I know that the West Side Eagles over here and Bobby's crew, they're a loud crew and they're a partying crew. And I know that we don't follow that path as much, but it don't mean we don't have supporters. BCA is not just in Evansville. We're in Indiana, Illinois, and Kentucky, and we have supporters from all over. So I think you'll be surprised about some of the support that we may have show up. At least I'm hoping.
I think it's going to be a great turnout, no matter what. So, Dan, Rick, I want to ask you, so I'm going to start with you, Dan. Who do you think will rise to the occasion on your team, and who do you think is going to fall flat on their team?
Well, I can tell you right now, all these guys right here, they're all going to rise to the occasion. And they're going to put on a game face, and they're going to play pool like you haven't seen. And the pressure's not going to bother these guys. On that team, it's a crapshoot. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got some bright lights, pressure. These guys, they might walk away for a bathroom break and not come back.
Oh, wow. Rick. I mean, what do you say?
We're not going to dance around the question like Dan does here. Let's just Chuck Austin will take care of Mike Timpson. That's what's going to do. That's what I think Chuck Austin will rise to the top. But I think Timpson will do all respects.
All righty. All right, this is for both captains. In short races, you can get a tough roll, and it can be very costly. You roll up behind a ball or something, you don't want to give these guys ball in hand at any time. How do you keep a player mentally focused when something bad happens?
3 out of the 5, you can put a shot right in front of them, let them knock it on back, and I just ease them right on down.
Well, I think we're talking about pool, not liquor.
Right.
So, to answer
Put that
that
drink down,
question,
didn't you?
I mean, these guys over here, I don't know if they'll get any bad or good rolls because you actually have to be at the table shooting to get a roll. And that's what this team's going to do.
All right, so we're going to discuss some individual matchups. We're going to have Charles Elrod playing Derek Bivens, which is a national champ. How do you feel like you're going to play? World champ, not national. I'm sorry, world champion. Sorry.
Well, world champ to a state champ. Congrats. But mine was more recent, more performance. His was what, 7 years ago? I think he about retired and moved out of town.
Just about
Yeah. I think
he did move away, didn't he?
Yeah, he just moved around. I mean, I think went in hibernation, but he's back. And like you said, we've had a few matchups in 9-ball and in 8-ball, and I think I came out on top on every one of them. So he might be due to win one, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah,
Derek?
a game.
Oh, I've already stated my opinion of he and I's match.
Right. What do you think about Kerry Buddy? Your matchup with him, if it gets that far.
I think talent-wise we're very similar and equal, but I just don't know about the weight of the situation. Like, I could just sit here and say he'll crumble, but I wouldn't really know that for sure. I can just attest to myself. Like, if he beats me, it's because he played great. Like, he played well. Right. There won't be discussions like, man, Bivens really choked. Like, it'll be just because he beat me, and I'd be able to live with that.
Yep, it'll be good. Brian, if it comes down to you and Mickey, do you think you can take him?
I mean, I've beat him before. So, yeah, I mean, I might be an underdog with it, but like I said, he's getting old, and I'll put him to sleep with some defense.
All right.
So he says he's beat me before. I don't think Brian has ever beat me in a race to 5 in his life. If he did, when he wakes up, he should call me and apologize for that dream.
All right, Titzer, you've been awful quiet down there. Tell me about this matchup that everybody wants to hear about between you and Chuck. How do you think this is really going to go in a race to 5? Yep. Twice.
I mean, it sounds like I'm the underdog, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't do a lot of trash talk. I just show up and play. You know me. I'm quiet.
Yep. Chuck, you got it. You want to comment on that?
I don't really trash talking. I'm just going to show up. Happens. I have no misconceptions that it's going to be an easy match, but I don't think he should either, because I'm going to play pool, which is something I don't do a lot of. The next couple of weeks, I'm going to hit a lot of balls, so we'll see what happens. But Mike's a good player. I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm just going to say I'm.
Hey, can I comment on that real quick? So I've talked to Chuck a couple of times the last couple of weeks, and every time we talked about the Mike Titzer matchup, I hear fear from Chuck. And I hear a confident Chuck tonight. But Chuck ain't been playing much. I know that because I know Chuck's a busy guy running a couple of different APA divisions. So I know he ain't having a stick in his hand. This guy's playing pool, and playing pool makes a difference when it comes down to crunch time.
We're gonna beat y'all. We ain't been practicing. We're just gonna show up, get under the light, and beat you.
Eric, do you have any matches you're really looking forward to? Well, I mean, I know you're in singles, the doubles.
Yeah,
you are the all-star on the team, so.
Yeah, and I think I've played the most matches out of any player on both teams. So
Bobby done that.
Yeah, he did. And I consider that to be it'd be up to me. I consider myself to be the biggest factor. I plan on beating Mickey. I plan on beating Elrod. If it gets to me in Elrod, I think you can just slide us the cup. I think it's ouch. I think it's I think you guys better get out to a big lead. You guys better get out to a big lead early in day 1. The closer it stays going into day 2, the more we're gonna win. That's what I believe.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bobby, you know, you're the one that put all this, a lot of it together with Mickey. What are you looking forward to most of all, besides the Boys and Girls Club, you know, property and helping them out?
Definitely them making as much money as they can possibly make. They're a great organization. They're an organization that's probably, I'd say 30 to 50 of our actual pool members of the APA. I'm sure some of them.
I used to go to as a kid and play basketball.
Devin Martin's a big part of APA. He grew up there. Great organization, and hopefully they make as much money as they can. Awesome.
Mickey?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the rivalry is great. I mean, I like all these guys. We have lots of fun, lots of matches. You know, it's fun to get them up here and talk a little bit trash to each other. But the bottom line is, this really isn't the important part here. The important part is we have two clubs from opposite sides of town and two leagues of different types of play that are all coming together for a greater cause. That's the Boys and Girls Club. Like Bobby had said, many of the players from both sides have been to the Boys and Girls Club. One of my mentors and idols, Bobby Legg, spent most of his young days in the Boys and Girls Club. Bobby's brother, we didn't mention, half brother Sid. Sid is I believe, the president of the board of the Boys and Girls Club. So if we take anything from this, we want to raise as much money as we possibly can. We got many ways for people to sponsor through banners above pool tables, monetary donations, item donations, whatever it is. Just showing up, supporting the club, supporting the leagues. Pool's on the highest growth rate I've ever seen in my life right now, both at an amateur and a professional level. Locally, we have the ability to use that for a greater cause. So let's all come together and try to make that happen.
What's the date on this matchup?
Yeah, so the date is September 16th and 17th. The 16th will be here at this club at 1 p.m. It'll be the 1 p.m. at the other club on the 17th. So the address of the other side is the 6000 Old Boonville Highway here in Evansville. Bobby, can you give the address here?
1924 or 1824 West Franklin, right across the street from Franklin Bowling Lanes. And
all right, so if everybody's out there is watching, come out. It's going to be a great event. There's going to be a lot of pool playing. There's going to be tons of trash talking. There's going to probably be food, drinks, everything else that you need. Just what's that? Yeah, crying on either side.
Yeah, So we plan to have an arena set up. We haven't decided yet for sure if we're going to charge an admission for those seats. If everyone agrees, I think I'd rather just have a voluntary donation to have a seat. Obviously, you can come in the club, you can hang out, but if you want to sit around the table and you want to mingle with the players and whatnot, just a voluntary donation for that. This is not just this. It's also a club drive. Let's get some people signing up for these clubs. These clubs is what does this stuff for charitable organizations throughout town.
So the Mosconi Cup has, the red, white, and blue. They also have the Europe colors. Are you guys going to wear a certain color, and are you guys going to wear a certain color, so we can root for a team or people who's coming out?
I assume they're going to wear red because that's the same color as blood. That's what they're going to be when we're done.
Chuck, you had something to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on Mickey's comment about a couple of things. Number one, like Mickey, I like all those guys sitting over there as well. And the main winner of this competition, we want to be the Boys and Girls Club. Right. That's 100% fact. The secondary winner on that should be the Eagles on Old Boonville Highway as well as the Eagles here. Right. The Eagles is a great organization. Dan is at least a trustee over there. That's the last time I checked, and I'm a trustee here. They do a lot of work in the community. They help a lot of people. And the secondary winner of that should be the Eagles. We want to win this thing bad, but the first two winners should be the Boys and Girls Club and then the Eagles. And as far as food and stuff like that goes, we're going to have a grill here. We're going to have food being grilled at the time that it's going on, because we got to feed these boys that Bobby are bringing. There's some big
Sergio's
boys coming.
A big boy.
So we would, as a group, and I'm not trying to speak for both groups, but I kind of am. Please come out to both Eagles and support both teams. Help this event get off the ground, and maybe we can do it every year. And who knows, we might do it for the Boys and Girls Club every year. We might pick another charity, but we want to make sure that those two organizations are the two main winners.
I personally like the event. I'm a pool player as well, and it's going to be fabulous. No matter who wins. I know there's all the tension and stuff, but it's going to be a great event. So if you guys get a chance, come out. Or if you'd like to sponsor, we do have some sponsorships. There is a different tiers. I don't know if you can see that or if you can zoom in on it, but it goes from anywhere from like a $100 tier. There's a $200 tier, a $100 tier. So if anybody would like to sponsor this, and they have different things. You do get a mention on the stream for a $100 tier. You will get a mention each and every day. You will have a banner that will be up somewhere in either location, or is it going to be both locations? Or yes.
Yeah, so banners will be just different. Banners will be at different locations.
Okay.
Keep in mind, normally we do these charity stuff. We're at the $1,000 for the platinum. $400 isn't asking for much to get commercials and stuff on a live stream. I don't know how many people we're going to reach on this stream, but on Q, we've had weekends where we reached as many as 1.2 million viewers. So it could be a phenomenal weekend just the same way.
So if anybody, has somebody they want to root for, or come on out, sponsor us, throw some money to the Boys and Girls Club, that'd be great. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I'd like to just reiterate a little bit. Thank you, Chuck, for bringing up that the Eagles. We hope that the Eagles is second after the Boys and Girls Club. The Eagles is a nonprofit organization, and we give to charities. Both the Eagles on Franklin Street, 4023, and the Eagles 427 at 6000 Boonville Highway. So we give money to the community, local community, several different things we do. That's what we're here for. And this tournament, Boys and Girls Club, they're going to be the winners. And I urge everyone to sponsor. And I think there will probably be a link or a photo. Please give some money, sponsor. If you can donate $1, that's awesome. We thank you very much.
Awesome. So the only thing I can say is shake hands and let's get on the pool tables. Saturday the 16th is going to be here at River City Eagles on Franklin Street, West Franklin Street, right across from the Franklin Lanes, of course. And then the next day, day 2, will be out at the East Side Eagles, which will be off Old Boonville Highway. Start time will be 1 p.m. both days. Yes, that is correct. Sweet. Come out and see us.